I, Ishita Dattoray, head of the Department of Management Studies, on behalf of ILIT, welcome you all to the conclave that will witness the presence of dignitaries from various sectors. The panel will discuss the changes and growth in the respective sector along with the emerging new age career opportunities.
Today's session is exploring sports management as a career option. Behind every goal, double play, and penalty shot stand the experienced management professional that made the game possible. With an ever increasing enthusiasm for sports, sports management as a field is reaching new heights and has resulted in increased investment participation from marketers and corporate houses. It is a diverse field that allows you to work not only with big brands but also work as freelancer or consultant to celebrity athletes and work as a coach in schools, colleges, and other institutions.
I think you all must be having many questions, and of course for that you need to know a little bit about what sports management is, and that is why we are here. I have covered various sporting events, and I can tell you it's very exciting as a journalist to cover these events, and for somebody on ground who is part of the team for various sporting events, it's a lot of thrill, it's a lot of sleepless nights, late nights, but the thrill at the end of these events is what gives people that push to go for another event, and that is why they want to be part of this industry. And before I go to you, first I'm going to go to Professor Banerjee, and why I'm going to go to you first is because when we're talking about events, you have been part of AIFF, like you've done a course from there. You also were part of FIFA. So I'd like you to tell us about your experiences so the audiences here can reflect on what it is to be on ground.
Sports is actually considered to be a sunshine sector, which is, if I have to go by the report of FICCI, it is growing at a rate of 12%. And there will be a requirement of almost 47 lakhs people, human resources, in near future to manage the sporting activities in our country. But these are the statistics. When I actually started my journey back in 2007-8, after completing my sports management course, that was actually a real difficult time. Because I'm talking about 2007-8, India did not organize IPL. The IPL concept was not there. And when I started the journey, that was kind of adventure, climbing the mountain without having the safety equipments, right? But the entire situation changed when the IPL came into the picture. In 2008, we started the IPL, and IPL actually changed the way cricket was produced and consumed in our country. And then in 2010, we organized the Commonwealth Games. 2011, we organized the Cricket World Cup. 2014, we organized the ISL and Pro Kabaddi League. These were started. And Under 17 Football World Cup, we organized in 2017. And in 2023, we are going to organize the Cricket World Cup. So that changed the entire way of, sports. And the sporting organizers and the sports federation associations, they realized that there is the requirement of the professional sports managers to manage their sporting activities. So there is the change. So right now you can see that many of the federations and the associations, when we started, that concept was not there. Few of the sports management companies were there when we started, and they were actually searching for this comprehensive direction. But right now, federations, associations, sports management companies, all of them, they are looking for professional sports managers to manage their activities in the event, in operations, in business development, in relationship management, in each and every part. And right now, apart from the federation associations, you can actually see that there are a number of sports management companies that actually operate in the sporting environment. And these companies are actually producing diversified services. Some of them are working at the infrastructure level to manage, maintain, market the infrastructure, facilities, right? Stadiums, academies, etc. Some of them are organizing the events. Some of them are working at the grassroots level. Some of them are working as the intermediaries. Some of them are actually working on technology, sports technology. The entire system is data driven.
Technology is big, so a lot of changes in technology. Absolutely. Everything is going digital now, so absolutely, that is something which is very big.
Absolutely. And right now the performance of the players or the teams, that's not being evaluated on the basis of the observation of an individual. That is entirely data driven. There are certain companies which are collecting the data on the performance of the players and the teams throughout the season, and they analyze the data not only about the performance but also about the injuries, also about the recovery, rehabilitation, and they prepare comprehensive report and they hand it over to the franchises or the teams, which actually help the franchises to make their decisions on the players, that whether the player should be retained or should be sold during the transfer season, how the decision will be made. So the entire system is data driven. And if you look at the sporting environment right now in our country, we can segregate it into three different sectors. One is the public sector, where we have government and governmental organizations like the Sports Authority of India, right? And they have certain specific responsibilities. They are actually providing the financial assistance, the institutional assistance to the other sectors in order to make them financially sustainable. Then we have the non-profit sector, where we have the federations and the associations. They are actually, organizing the events at the grassroots levels in order to increase the participation. And also they organize the tournaments at the elite level in order to produce the elite athletes, who will represent our country at the international stage. And also then we have the private sector. In the private sector, we have number of companies which are operating, starting from sponsors, broadcasters, professional leagues, professional teams. All of them are operating over there. And in each and every sector, professional managers are required. There is a huge requirement of professional managers in each and every sector with different responsibilities. And a symbiotic relationship among these three sectors is required to ensure that there will be holistic development of sports in this country. So that is the realization after working in the sports industry for some times.
So that was quite a bit of research he's done and quite a bit of what he's understood. But it is a lot of hard work, and I'm going to go across to you, Mr. Bhalotia. You've been a professional golfer. Now you are the director of Protouch Sports, Protouch. And how do you feel when you are organizing these events, when you are taking these events out for the public? A lot of responsibility there.
Sports management is not about only events. Sports management involves every single aspect of the industry. So whether it's journalism, whether it's merchandising, whether it's advertising, whether it's digital marketing. So everything is required in the sports industry. And what sports does is, any field that you are in, even if it's law, and once you get into sports law, it kind of upgrades you, it elevates you to a higher level. When you're talking about fitness, you're looking at fitness and you're looking at sports conditioning, which is a higher level of fitness. When you're looking at psychology, mental toughness, when you're looking at an athlete, you're looking at mental toughness for somebody who's already an elite player. So when you're talking about mental toughness to Tendulkar and you're talking about mental toughness to a regular corporate guy, it's going to be different. So whenever you talk about sports and you connect it to any industry, any kind of profession, it elevates you to a higher level. The sports industry is just not about doing events. That is what...
It's a misconception.
It's completely a misconception. Events is just one small part of being in this industry. So it's a complete, like you look at a corporate and you have different divisions. You look at a top corporate, they have 50 different verticals, right? So even sports, a big sports company has 50 different verticals, right from legal to media to every little thing, merchandising, advertising, retail, everything. When you look at it from the sports angle, it's a level higher, the stakes are higher, the pay is higher, the spend is higher. So even when you look at a clothing brand, and it's a clothing brand and then it's Polo and then you put Polo Sport, moment you put Polo Sport, the price of the t-shirt from 1500 becomes 3000 rupees. And that is the premium that you pay when you associate sport with anything.
So associating sport with anything is what you said. When you associate sport with, say, a brand, and say when you are holding that event, you're out there, or say you have gone to play an event, what is that brand value? How important is it, and what is the kind of teamwork that goes behind it?
Let me just talk about an event, and I use this example whenever I talk about doing events. Let's say you're doing a golf tournament. Let's say a golf tournament, and the tournament, the entire cost of doing that tournament is 2 crores, right? That includes the prize money, the advertising, the fees, the rental of the ground. So you're spending 2 crores, right? The event management company is doing that event. The tee-off starts at 6 o'clock, and then there are different water points where players pick up their bottles of water. At 6:30, the first group which is playing reaches a certain point, and the water is not there. And the players not got a bottle of water. 2 players have not got their water. And then they continue playing, and then they come to the event sponsor or the promoters and says that, what kind of a terrible event is this? There was no water available when we were playing. Now it's a 2 crore event. The water bottle costs you 10 rupees. And that water was not available for 1 player. The event sponsor is going to rip apart the event manager. And that is how tough it is. So you've done everything right, You've done everything right on a 2 crore event, and you made one mistake where the water was not delivered on time with 3 bottles of water, which is worth 30 rupees. And you as an event manager is a disaster as far as me as a sponsor is concerned. And that is how
does it reflect the next time? So
no, you don't get the contract next time. The very good chance that you may not get the contract, or you get it at a much lower price. So doing an event, especially a sporting event, is a thankless job. It is something that, so you as an event manager, if the water was not getting there, you will send someone, or you'll run to a local shop, pick up 3 bottles of water from somewhere and put it there to make sure that the event goes off well. When you watch these cricket events, the IPLs, the football events, everything is perfect, right? One-off match, you will hear that the DRS wasn't working, or the video camera was not working, and it's a huge news. So everything is in place. The amount of work that goes into doing an event, especially a sports event, there's 0 tolerance for any error. So doing an event, and you charge, they say, oh, this company's charge 10 lakhs for a one-day event. Now that 10 lakhs is not just for that one-day event. It goes into the last 6 months of preparation, marketing, preparing a team, plan, flow, and then executing the event. So 5% is the execution. But even there, if you go wrong, even with a bottle of water, you do marathons, and if you don't have water at a certain point, and you go and tell the sponsor, who you probably know personally, that event is a disaster. And the event manager has done everything right. So I'll just give you one more example. I was doing an event for a friend. I'm just trying to tell you how important doing an event is. I was doing an event for a friend in Delhi in December. Okay, December, Delhi is like, Gurgaon is 3-4 degrees at night. So we were doing an event for the petroleum industry. And 6 o'clock was the opening of the event, with the petroleum minister coming and cutting the ribbon. There was a stage, and in Delhi, they're called tent wallas, who come and actually create the stage and everything. At 3 in the morning, the tent walla wasn't picking up the phone. At 3:30, with me and my team, we went at 2 degrees centigrade. At 3:30 in the morning, there were planks lying. We were nailing the planks to build a stage. So by 5:30, we had the stage ready. So from 3:30 to 5:30, you were actually doing a carpenter's work at almost 0 degrees centigrade to put a stage ready so that the event could take off. And while the petroleum minister was standing on the stage, we were just praying that the stage doesn't break, because we are not professionals in building stages, right? So this is what doing an event is. So people who think that doing an event is glamorous, it's one thing that I dread, and I keep telling my team whenever we do an event that you have to be extremely, extremely careful, because There is zero margin for error when you're doing an event.
So it was good to be part of this because I think it's important to put forward our experiences and others who aspire to be in sports management and understand what the career options are. I think it was good to put that knowledge forward to the audiences because everybody has this idea of sports management, but what is it exactly? Sports is fun, but it's also serious business. So you've seen IPL and we've seen other sports, so I think the seriousness of it also needs to come out.
It's always nice to talk about sports and career in sports.
Actually, this is, this kind of panel discussion is something which is required to create the awareness, because sports management is a growing business and the students, they need to understand what are the opportunities, what are the possibilities and what they actually study, they actually do, and these kind of initiatives they should be taken more in order to create the awareness, and this is an excellent infrastructure of iLead and I am really pleased to be here.
I am really enjoying it, and right now what the teachers, the seniors have been telling us, I really enjoyed it. It was amazing and it was really informative and it really helped me a lot.
Today we had so much of interesting and informative discussion. So and I'm looking forward for the great opportunities with iLead for the BBA Sports Management this year.